Hi, and welcome to your chubby camper van. While we know you're chomping at the bit to start your adventure, please make sure you listen carefully to this presentation while we point out some of the more important features of your camper. In the front of the van, the most important feature is your transmission. Our chubby camper vans have a manual transmission. Below that is your handbrake. To release the handbrake, simply push in the button and push down. To engage, simply pull it back up. Up here is the CD player and radio. The air conditioning and heating controls are just here. And next to that is your 12-volt charging socket, where you can connect any 12-volt appliance, for example, your GPS or your phone. In the glove box, you will find your AUX cable. This can be plugged into any musical device. Up here we have the fuel gauge. In the middle we have the speedometer that shows you how fast you're going. And on the right hand side is your temperature gauge. You can see the needle sitting around the halfway mark at the moment. That is where it should be at all times when your van is driving. If you notice the needle moving above the halfway mark towards the hot position, you need to stop the van and call Travelers Autobahn immediately. On the left side of the steering wheel are the controls for your front windscreen wipers. On the right side of the steering wheel, we've got the indicators and headlight controls. Just next to the steering wheel is the ignition. This button here is used to turn your rear wipers on. Next to that is the locking button for the sliding door. The front doors must be locked with the keys. The release to open the fuel door is located next to the driver's seat behind the handbrake. Simply pull this lever to open the fuel door. Make sure you only use unleaded fuel 91, 95, 98 or E10. The chubby camper van seats 2 people. It is a legal requirement that all passengers wear their seatbelts while driving. It's a requirement of your rental to check the oil and coolant every day. To access the engine bay, lift up the cover on both sides of the gearbox and release the latches. Then simply fold the seat down like so and raise them up. We now need to secure them with the stay like so. To inspect the cooling system, just check this overflow bottle. Remember, this system is pressurized, so it is dangerous to open this cap once the car is running hot. All we need to do is check this side of the bottle. The maximum level is marked here, and in good light you will see the level of the coolant around that mark. If you can't see the coolant from the side, you can remove this cap and check the level of the coolant. When you fill up the coolant, make sure you use proper coolant and match the color that is already in the bottle. If you need to regularly top up the cooling system, or you notice a leak somewhere under the vehicle, you need to stop the car and report this to Travelers Autobahn immediately. To check the oil level of the vehicle, you need to pull out this dipstick. When you pull it out all the way, you can see markings on the dipstick. Here it is up close. If the oil level is below the mark on the left, you need to top up with just 1 litre of oil, no more. Do not overfill, as this can cause damage to the engine. If you need to top up oil on a regular basis, you need to report this to Travelers Autobahn immediately. To lower the seat, simply unclip the stay, put the seat back down and secure both buckles. Let's have a look at the back of the vehicle. This is your kitchen area. The first thing you will notice is the sink. To operate the water tap, simply pump it like so. In the middle you will find all of your cooking equipment, and on the left side of the kitchen is your esky or cool box. Below that is your stove. Now I'll show you how that works. Firstly, take the cap off the gas canister. Open up the gas compartment and insert the canister like so. Close the compartment, then lock the canister in place by pressing this lever down. Then simply turn the knob all the way to ignite your stove. Remember to remove the gas canister once you are finished cooking. Down in this corner you will find your jack and tools. These are needed if a tyre change is required. Please call roadside assistance if you have any problems changing your tyre. Your spare tyre is located at the underside of the back of the vehicle. To access your spare tyre, simply open the tailgate and unwind this nut to lower the tyre. It's a great idea to check both your front and back tyres for uneven wear on a regular basis. The easiest way to do this is to park the vehicle like so, exposing the tyre and checking for uneven wear. If you do notice any excessive uneven wear, please report this to Travelers Autobarn immediately. The tyre pressure should also be checked on a regular basis and should be kept at 290 kPa. While we are outside the van, along the driver's side of the vehicle we have the 240 volt power inlet and water inlet where you can refill your water tank. On the step of the van you will find your fire extinguisher. The middle section of your chubby camper van is your sleeping area. As you can see, it's now set up for sleeping. Underneath the cushions is the storage area. On the right you will find 2 sleeping bags, 2 pillows, 2 towels and a bedsheet. On the left side you will find the table pole, water hose, power cord, bucket and dustpan, and also your secondary battery. This powers all of the 12 volt appliances in your van. It charges when you are driving and also when the van is plugged into a 240 volt power point. To charge the battery fully, you need to be plugged in overnight or drive for at least 8 hours. Travelers Autobarn recommend charging your van at a powered site at least 2 out of every 3 nights. In the middle section, you'll find an outside camp table, and also the base for your inside table. To set up the table, put the table pole into the base. Then using the lid of this storage area as the tabletop, simply sit it on top of the table pole. In the back of your van are 2 12 volt plugs that can be used to charge any 12 volt appliance, for example a phone or tablet. Next to the kitchen are 2 240 volt power outlets. These will only operate when the van is plugged into a powered campsite. We will show you how this is done now. Firstly, plug the power lead provided into the socket on the outside of your van. Plug the other side of your power lead into a power outlet at your campsite. In Australia, all power sockets have on and off switches. Be sure to switch them on when in use. With the van plugged in, you can now use the 240 volt power outlets in the van to power appliances such as a fan or heater. Next to these is the 240 volt safety switch. This must be in the on position at all times as shown here. Now that we've covered all the important aspects of your van, if you have any questions, please ask our friendly staff. Otherwise, have a safe and enjoyable trip.